Hi there. Welcome to episode 3 of my Speak Out podcast, talking about Asian American racism and the recent uptick in hate crimes that have happened against the community. This episode, I would like to focus specifically on things that have happened to me as an Asian American woman. So I'm honestly really thankful for this assignment and this opportunity to be really vulnerable like this. And I really would like this to reach as many people as see it. I feel like hearing things from people, their lived experiences, is extremely important in understanding what's happening, as well as just cultivating empathy and just really caring for each other. It's hard to care for each other if we don't know what's going on in each other's lives. And I would like to be as transparent as possible in this. Um, I am currently 20 years old. I was raised in a mostly white world because I'm adopted by white people. I love my parents so much. And I believe that they really did do the best that they could to create an environment for me to explore and question my identity and who I am. And I love them so much for it. But their love could not protect me from the racism that I would experience. I found that anti Asian racism is treated really differently than racism against other demographics and races. Anti-Asian racism is is often trivialized um, and mainly seen as funny and not offensive. What a lot of people I feel like forget is that jokes have serious consequences and can deeply invalidate one's sense of belonging, identity, and worth. Um, I am adopted into a white family, and life with my extended family was honestly really difficult for me. I was called a doll, like an object, and for a little bit, not anymore. I was praised because of how quiet I was. I was told that Chinese people are not attractive and that Chinese people, among other minorities, were infiltrating and bound to destroy the economy like other immigrants. Many relatives and peers have made fun of my eyes and their shape, as well as my darker body hair as a child, which I believe led to, various feelings of inadequacy. Um, my feelings and discomfort were often ignored, and especially from extended family members, the words "I love you" were meant to erase any bad things they said or did to me. Um, in school, many people asked if I ate my pets or would raise their pinky fingers in me, explaining that, oh, this is equivalent to the middle finger in China, and if you do this, they'll chop your finger off. People would do this in my face, trying to goad me into some kind of response, um, which honestly worked most of the time. I am extremely argumentative. um, I grew up watching a lot of my Asian friends sit back and take the abuse from our white peers because they wanted to fit in. Silence was their only perceived option because it meant that they were included and finally in on something, finally in on the joke, even if they were the butt of it, which is something that I feel like they'd wanted for a really long time. This was always something that really baffled me. I honestly think it was because I was raised by white people. White people have a kind of audacity that I think they encouraged in me. I found myself challenging a lot of negative stereotypes a lot of the time that people would project onto me, including the idea that I need to be perfectly intelligent. I had many strangers even approach me in random places like the grocery store and ask whether I was good at math and how my grades were. Um, and I had peers who told me that my academic achievements only happened because of my race, which effectively invalidated a lot of my hard work. Even at college, I cannot escape this. I can't. Um, I have been told to my face that I am a walking fetish. Um, this this person was a boyfriend of a friend of mine at the time, and it was essentially it was unprovoked. I was sitting in my room, and he walks in and he says, "Josie, I have something to tell you." And I was like, "Yes." And he said, "Did you know that you're a walking fetish? It's because you're so Asian and you're so small." And that really that's one of the biggest things that has happened to me that's honestly left the one of the deeper impacts. I coming to the realization that men my age see me as a sexual object, see me as not a person, see me as something they could potentially dominate. I It's terrifying, and it makes looking for relationships kind of difficult because it's discernment can be difficult, and it's hard to know what someone's true intentions are. So it's definitely made me a lot more careful, and it honestly is really scary. Um, like I said earlier, a lot of these issues are really trivialized because they're seen as comedy, and Asian people are so often caricatures, like in Breakfast at Tiffany's or even in Kill Bill. You've seen either of those movies. Asian people are thought to be ultimately submissive and will take whatever is happening. With the rising number of hate crimes against Asian Americans, I really hope that people start seeing how damaging even jokes can be and what they can lead to. Um, Death and violence and a lot of fear and trauma that really can't be undone. It's something you learn to live with and you learn to process in different ways. But thank you for listening to some of my experiences. It's definitely not all of them. It's for sure not all of them. But I hope this gave a little bit of insight to where my head is and what I've experienced, and I guess why I'm so passionate about this topic. It directly affects my life in really real ways. But anyway, our next episode is going to be about the effects of hate crimes on a community and self care notes. Thank you.